Welcome to an exciting journey through rare historical photos of Ann Wilson and untold stories of the stars. If you think the lives of music legends revolve around the spotlight and immortal hits, then prepare to be amazed. Together we will explore special moments and interesting secrets from Ann Wilson's life, from her early days to her becoming an indispensable icon in the rock music scene. Are you ready? Come join us on this journey. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us, helping us continue to bring more interesting and meaningful content. Ann Wilson, one of rock's most iconic vocalists, had a challenging journey to her success. While she was a powerful musical icon on stage, her story behind the spotlight was a difficult one. Ann was born on June 19, 1950, in San Diego, California, into a military family. Her father was a major in the United States Marine Corps, which made life for Ann and her family unstable. She and her sister were constantly on the move, moving from base to base, which created its own difficulties but also nurtured their love of music. Every Sunday, the Wilson family would hold small concerts at their home, where her father passionately conducted an imaginary orchestra. Operas, along with Judy Garland songs, created a lively musical space, helping Ann and her sister bond more than ever with music. These moments were the foundation for her deep passion for music. Eventually, the Wilson family settled in Bellevue, Washington. In 1968, Ann graduated from Sammamish High School. Although she struggled with communication due to a stutter and was somewhat shy, music was where she found confidence and passion. In the early 1970s, Ann joined a local band called White Heart, which later changed its name to Hocus Pocus. Finally, in 1974, the band was renamed Heart, marking a major turning point in Ann's career. From those challenging early days, Ann proved that music was the fuel that drove her through all the difficulties, opening a brilliant and impressive music career that made her one of the legends of rock. With her relentless efforts and hard work, Ann Wilson helped form White Heart, paving the way for the birth of a musical legend. Together with her sister Nancy Wilson, Ann's powerful voice combined with harmonious melodies created a unique sound, breaking all concepts of a rock band. This was not bubblegum pop like Angel City, but a passionate hard rock, fueled by the flames of Led Zeppelin and Yes. In 1976, Heart released its debut album, Dreamboat Annie, marking a major turning point in Ann's career. The album quickly became a phenomenon, bringing Heart to the top of the American rock scene. Hit songs like Magic Man and Crazy on You not only left a strong impression on listeners but also affirmed Ann's outstanding talent in conveying emotions through her voice. Heart's melodies were full of vitality, blending rock and folk elements, creating a unique sound that was hard to find in any other band. The combination of Ann's powerful voice and Nancy's guitar talent created a distinct identity, making Heart one of the pioneers and influential bands in rock music. However, this success came at a price. As Heart's career began to flourish, Ann's personal life began to fall into chaos. Life on the road, complicated relationships, and alcohol and drug consumption seriously affected her health and psychology. In the 1970s, Ann fell into a life of partying, where drugs and alcohol became indispensable companions, causing her to feel lost in her own career. In 1980, a shocking event occurred when Ann was arrested after a performance for violent behavior related to drugs and alcohol. This event was not only a shock to herself, but also to her fans and family. Ann realized that she needed help, but finding treatment was not an easy journey. She tried many methods of addiction treatment, but they were not always effective. In a last-ditch effort, she sought out a controversial psychiatrist who used unorthodox methods. However, this experience not only failed to help her overcome her addiction, but also left her with deep psychological scars. The powerful voice that Ann was once proud of was now severely affected, and the path back to the top of music seemed far away. However, through those challenges, Ann Wilson has proven that no matter how difficult life is, as long as you persevere and face yourself, everything can change. as Nancy's signature guitar tones propelled Hart to fame in the 80s, and Wilson began to feel left behind. Her once powerful vocals were now tired and hoarse. By the end of the 80s, and was largely sidelined in her own band, a rock goddess struggling with personal and professional issues. However, her story was not over yet. A major rebirth was about to begin, bringing Wilson back to the top of her career. As the 1990s approached, Hart faced a difficult period as hair metal and grunge became popular. And, though still dedicated to music, faced a serious personal crisis. Her voice was damaged, her career seemed to be at a standstill. However, and decided to seek help to change things. In 1992, she entered a rigorous addiction recovery program in Boston, where she not only dealt with her drug and alcohol problems, but also dealt with her childhood traumas. Therapists helped her explore and resolve her deep wounds, helping her develop healthier ways of coping with life. The recovery process was not easy, and not only had to heal her emotional wounds, but she also had to find her voice again. She used breathing exercises and warm-up techniques to regain her vocal strength. Gradually, her efforts began to pay off. In the late 1990s, when Hart reunited and toured, and Wilson proved that she had fully recovered. Her voice won over audiences again, and Hart's performances were praised for the strength of her voice. And has proven that despite her many traumas, she can still devote herself to music to the fullest. In addition to Hart, and has also created a side project called the Love Mongers, a prolific blues gospel group, where she showcases her songwriting and vocal abilities. However, Anne's most notable comeback was her first solo album, Hope and Glory, in 2007. This was a revealing folk rock song cycle, in which Anne collaborated with big names such as Elton John and Winona Judd. The album not only reintroduced Anne as a compelling singer and songwriter, but also received positive reviews for her voice and creativity, marking a renaissance in her music career. Although Anne's career had entered a promising new chapter, her personal life was almost shattered once again by a shocking event. But despite the hardships, Anne Wilson continued to demonstrate her strength and resilience in both her music and her personal life. With echoes of past traumas, Anne Wilson's life hasn't always been easy, and has experienced storms of hurt and pain since her teenage years. In particular, during her 2016 tour, a shocking event triggered painful memories from her past. Anne's new husband, Dean, attacked her two teenage sons, Hart, for a seemingly trivial reason, an open RV door. It was a dark moment, where everything Anne loved in her life was torn apart in a storm of violence. "I felt like I was that scared kid again," she confided, seeing old wounds return. However, from the ruins, Anne found a glimmer of light. With determination and perseverance, she began her journey to find peace and stability for herself and her family. Through family therapy, Anne and her sister Nancy worked together to confront unresolved trauma from their past. They realized that the dysfunction in their family was not just a personal story, but a cycle that needed to be broken. It was the first step in rebuilding the bond between the two sisters. After her family returned to stability, and decided to redefine herself with a passion for music. She began rebuilding her voice from the ground up, step by step. The journey was not only about regaining her vocal power, but also about spiritual renewal. And diligently practiced the singing techniques that had made her shine, from breathing exercises to vocal warm-ups. She viewed her body as an instrument, and every day was an opportunity to explore and improve herself. By 2019, Anne's relentless efforts paid off when Hart reunited for a tour. It was a memorable event, as the sound of Anne's stratospheric screams and gymnastic melisma once again rang out on stage. She stunned audiences and critics alike with her seemingly ageless abilities. "The magic is back," wrote critics, praising the strength and talent of Anne, a rock icon who had regained her vitality. Anne Wilson's story is not only one of overcoming adversity, but also a testament to the power of resilience and determination. From past trauma to artistic and spiritual rebirth, Anne has proven that with hard work and perseverance, she can not only recover, but emerge stronger than ever. after years of partying and self-destruction, and Wilson finally found her way. In 2007, she decided to give up alcohol, not only to return to music but also to create a new beginning for herself. It was a major turning point, wherein once again found a ray of hope and spiritual awakening, making her a powerful inspiration for those facing difficulties in life. Together with her sister and close partner, Nancy Wilson, and not only regained her confidence in music but also became a symbol of recovery and resilience. Throughout her career, and has faced many challenges and hardships, from sexism in the music industry to the pressure to maintain her image. But it was from these challenges that Anne became stronger, more resilient, and never let herself be defeated. She has said that sobriety is a lifelong journey, and that it has given her the peace and strength to dream bigger than ever. In 2009, she decided to expand her family through adoption, an act that has brought not only love but also great joy into her life. In 2012, the Wilson sisters released their autobiography, Kicking and Dreaming, a work that exposes the hardships they have overcome, but is also filled with humor and optimism. The book was not only an affirmation that they had overcome their obstacles, but also a powerful comeback. It paved the way for an emotional reunion tour, and a long overdue induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2013. With both her mental and vocal recovery, Anne Wilson has created an incredible arc of rebirth. She turned challenges into strength, accepted herself, and overcame all difficulties to affirm herself as a true survivor. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you and see you in the next videos.